Welcome back if you've already been here with our collective community before. Welcome back if you are new. Welcome back if you are new. Welcome if you are new. My name is Brini the Anarchist. I just saw the Strength card in the Knight of Pentacles. I'm here because I wanted to give y'all a few gems for new moon energy. Page of Wands. Yeah, it's giving new opportunity. It's giving, are you going to be willing to jump out there and do whatever these things are that Spirit is presenting to you? Because I feel like a lot of them are out the way. They're very out of the norm. It's things that you wouldn't have thought to do or things that you weren't planning to do. I feel like a lot of your plans may be being derailed at the time where you had a certain idea of how things were supposed to go, and they're not going that way. Yeah, you were planning and manifesting a certain kind of way, and it just it may not be what you planned. But I feel like when we're able to trust and surrender and have faith, then Spirit can show us a better way. You might have a masculine guide or ancestor, or this could just be that kind of figure in your life, a boss or a father who has a lot of influence or who has a lot of say in the matter. And maybe you're being called to go your own way. I'm seeing in my eye the scene from Black Panther where, yeah, I just saw 144 on the time, where he had to tell his father, like, I hear you, but you are wrong, and I'm doing things differently. So whoa, yeah, this is definitely an ancestor. Um, it may be time to create and build your own legacy. Look at that. It's like if you had a family member who was affluent or who was a master of something, or like, let me be a little bit more basic. Say your parent was like a professional athlete and they got all these plaques and trophies and all this other stuff, and that's cool, but it's time for you to have your own, is what I'm getting. Because I did see a short on YouTube of Denzel Washington, and he was talking about his son John and how he used to feel like the umbrella of the Washington name was too big, like he was in his father's shadow. And he gave him an example of another celebrity father, and he didn't know who he was. So he was basically saying, like, down the line, they're not gonna associate your legacy with me if you do your own work, basically. If you're here on YouTube, I appreciate you. Please hit the thumbs up. There's quite a few of you in here. Please like the live. Just hit the thumbs up. And if you don't see it down there, hit the top right corner where the three dots are, hit description, and then hit like the video. And now I'm restricted on TikTok again, which is fine. It's fine. They keep trying to get me for the body exposure. Nothing is showing. Like, I'm not gonna be on here uncomfortable. It's cool, whatever. Anyways, let's see for our collective community. And maybe that's significant. Maybe something you do is kind of out of the norm, like I said. Maybe something you do could be offensive to others, because that's what TikTok is trying to say, that if I have even this out, that I'm offending viewers, and literally no one is ever offended. It's just them limiting the live, which is okay because they did the same thing last time, and um it'd be like that. And all these cards just fell. So I just feel like there are outside forces maybe trying to derail your plans, and it could probably confuse you because it's like your spirit guides are doing the same thing, but they're doing so with good reason because they see how much better it could be. But other forces are kind of just trying to prevent growth, and it's not going to work either way. How old am I? That's not relevant to the message. I'm not choosing between musical artists either. Happy birthday, Cheryl. Y'all are. I have a Cheryl on both platforms. Interesting. Spirit of all that is spiritual and divine, what are the new moon messages for our collective community? Yeah, what did I say? We got the Two of Pentacles. It's like you're kind of weighing out your options, or there's two different ways to do something. Your money might be a bit funny. You're trying to decipher what the best way to do something is. And I just feel like you need to be more receptive to guidance when yeah, stress, restless nights. But this new moon is probably going to affect your sleep. You probably will be needing to kind of rest when you can. Um, but more than that, rest when you feel guided to rest. Because if you're in this stressed out energy, you're not going to want to rest. You're going to want to feel like, I got to do everything I can right now. And that's not the energy that spirit wants you in. I get it, because I get the same way. If there's something I want to accomplish, I don't want to hear that I need to lay down. I don't want to hear that I need to rest. I just want to, keep powering through. So this isn't getting you anywhere. If you can look at the background, those are not calm waters. You're not getting anywhere in that kind of weather. What else? Listen, I don't have the capacity or the care to be blocking y'all today. Just know that you're getting ignored. I'm not going to say what comment I'm referring to. I'm just going to say it as a PSA. Thank you for tapping the screen. I appreciate you. Yeah, this was in the reverse. I feel like you might be stressed out because maybe something you invested in hasn't shown you any. I don't know what that bang could have been, but confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. I feel like something maybe didn't give you a return on your investment yet, but it's because there's a different way to do things. I just keep getting that message. There's a different way to do things. I'm telling you the truth. There's a different way to do things. And if you're not able to be open-minded in the sense that you can want a thing, you can desire a thing, you can have a dream, but the way in which you're executing it, it might need some divine assistance. And that's okay. That's what spirit is there for. Because spirit, God, the universe, however you resonate, sees what you don't. So while you're going and going and going and trying harder, you might need to pause and say, okay, why isn't this working? What's the problem? What else? Yeah, we have 88 coming out here. Eight of Cups and the Eight of Wands. So before things can speed up, before these blessings can fall down into your lap, you're going to have to walk away from something. And this could be something that you're emotionally attached to. This could tie back to that familial, legacy thing that I was referring to, where there's emotions involved. But I do feel strongly, collective community, if it comes to a situation where it's between your feelings and other people's feelings, I feel like it's a very obvious choice because this is your life. This is your legacy. This is your dream. This is whatever it is, put it where it fits, but this is about you. So there's going to have to be some sort of emotional detachment so that you can move forward. And emotions are tough. Heart space issues are tough. When we love people, it can get in the way. But love is not enough to fulfill you, in the sense that if you're working on something, because I'm seeing all these pentacles, you need to put more drive behind that. That does not get so easily affected by human beings. Humans are fickle. We change our minds, we change our hearts, we change our purpose, we change our desires. We're ever changing, and that's what we're supposed to do. So I would not base something that you want to be lasting and to have longevity on the temporary feelings of a human being. Let's move forward. Yeah, it's like you're trying to build foundation. Maybe you're trying to establish a sense of home, maybe you're trying to move, maybe whatever the case may be, you have to prioritize what you want and then allow spirit to help you get there. Yeah. Thank you, spirit. That was clear. I didn't even thank spirit yet. Thank you, spirit. I am grateful to be a messenger and a mouthpiece. I know these messages will be reaching exactly who they are meant to. May they be clear cut and concise as they have been. Thank you. Yeah, you don't want to rest. And that's probably the very thing that you need to do. I feel like some of you are gifted in the sense of dreams. Sometimes we feel like we're just having dreams, but a lot of the times they mean a lot. We're actually receiving guidance while we're resting. We're actually healing while we're resting. We're actually being given instruction while we're resting. So you don't want to discount your dreams. You don't want it to be a situation where you're just like, oh, that was just a dream. That was a crazy ass dream. No, it probably meant something, and you're gonna miss out on valuable information if you don't get the rest. And I'm not telling y'all anything that I'm not trying to do myself as per usual. I was fighting my sleep the whole weekend because I felt like there was something else I could be doing. And when I finally did lay my ass down, I received a lot of guidance in my dream. So that kind of came left. Like some of you may have a vision for who you want to be. You might look in the mirror and it doesn't match, and that could be bothering you. You might be dreaming of a person, or maybe you can't get a person off of your mind. It's just, I'm feeling a lot of restlessness, and just give yourselves grace, okay? Because this is a super, you know, potent kind of energy we're in. And I did post about the new moon in Taurus on my community board on YouTube and on TikTok if you want to know a little bit more. But I would suggest you do your research or book a personal reading, because what I said is very general, okay? But regardless, if it's me or someone else, any information that you're receiving from outside sources, you should be taking it back to your spiritual guides, and you should only be applying what resonates. I stopped shuffling because nothing else is coming out of this deck, and I ended on the Ten of Swords. Collective community, we've talked about this before, but I feel like a lot of us have just dealt with a lot of bullshit betrayal, and that can be very difficult to navigate because you feel like someone's always on some shit. You feel like there's always some bullshit afoot, and you might be surrounded by people right now who want to help you, or want to support you, or maybe these people are coming in. Maybe this is what spirit has for you. Maybe you think, yeah, yeah, maybe you think you're supposed to just do this by yourself. Maybe you feel like, okay, well, nobody's willing to step up. I'm going to do it. I don't need anybody. And I feel like spirit is telling you, you get to have help. Like you get to have, yeah, I'll never make it up. The hermit is sticking out. You just feel like, oh, I can handle it. They're not going to understand me anyway, or they don't know, or they're like, I'm not going to say you, we have to do better with that. Because although like I feel like I've always been open-minded and open-hearted to the idea, it's like if I even get a whiff of some shit, I'm out. And we have to remember that we're all human, and sometimes your people will make mistakes. Everything cannot be so one and done. Everything cannot be so, cold and hot, and I'm done with them, or they don't get it. And, sometimes we need to put a bit more grace into the mix for everybody involved, okay? Yeah. I'll never make it up. The first cut of the deck. I'll never make it up. You are quick to cut somebody off, and I get it and I respect it. I just feel like spirit is just trying to get you to see that as much as you've cut people off, there are people that are aligned with you and that are worthy and loyal, and that can assist you on your journey. It just may not be in the way that you think. It might be something that's completely out of left field, but that, okay, let's see from this deck. Yeah, don't ignore the signs you're getting at this time. Do not ignore the signs you are getting at this time. It says pay attention to the coincidences you experience. Hey, I wasn't trying to ignore y'all. I'm just in the message. Thank you all for tapping the screen as well. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate you. What I say? You might have to roll the dice. You might have to take a risk. You might have to do something that you think is risky, and I was just talking about this. I swear I was. I was just talking about this and I was like, I just feel like sometimes spirit will test you in a way where you kind of get comfortable. You get safe, you get secure, and then you feel like you don't really want to take risks. And then that's the very thing that spirit will be trying to have you do. And you're like, now, why would I do that if I've experienced XYZ? And it's because this game is of faith. We're not playing the fear game anymore. This game, the rules say you got to be willing to take a risk. You got to be willing to invest and trust that you will see a return on your investment, and that even if you don't, that it was purposeful. And it's funny because a lot of y'all are people anyway. People like you, people love you, you get along with people, you probably the life of the party. They be like, where's such and such? Are they gonna be there? Okay, I'll go. You're probably that person. And it's funny to me because being that person, you probably don't want to be that person. I feel like the best leaders don't want to lead. And I feel like the most, friendly people just want to go home and be hermits and want to be alone. But some of us, like me, we go out and strangers want to tell you about their life, and friends come to you. It's 333 where I am. 333. You're being pushed to grow. You're being urged to expand, and it's uncomfortable. And if you ever done any sort of like physical transformation or exercise or something like that, you know how important it is to stretch. Those days where you're sore, where you're hurting, but it's like a good hurt. It's like, okay, that means I put some work in, and then there's the recovery, and then you can do more the next time. So I just feel like if something is uncomfortable or it's hurting you right now, it doesn't mean that you're not doing the right thing. It just might mean that you need more consistency and follow through because changes are happening. And for some of y'all, that's literal because here's, you might need to ice something. And this is going to be brief, y'all. I just wanted to give y'all some guidance. That's funny. Okay. Spirit of all that is spiritual and divine, what are the messages for this new moon in Taurus? Damn. Yeah, you're in a situation or you're doing something and you don't feel free. You don't feel free and you don't feel fulfilled. Yet and still, you are the type to stick with something. You're not a quitter. And that's what makes it difficult. And again, I resonate. I get you. You start something, you want to keep with it. You get with someone, you want to be loyal and stay with them no matter what happens. You take a job, you want to stay on no matter whether or not they're valuing you. And you have to realize, yeah, with offerings on the bottom of the deck, like there might be something better for you, something that's more aligned to where you do feel free. This card says you need to have more flexibility with your schedule and income. Being self-employed is ideal. Time off will help you get clear. And it coming out in the reverse, I just feel like all those things are off the table for you. You feel like, no, I don't need to be flexible. I need to stick to my schedule. I need to stick to my routine. I got bills to pay, and, you know, I'm not taking no time off. And that might be the very thing that Spirit is guiding you to do. The offerings card says you will be offered a new position or investment opportunity. Thank you, Spirit. That's all I'm going to say. I don't have to keep telling y'all I don't make it up. Y'all heard what I said. Think about it and research it carefully before accepting. If that'll make you feel better, that hermit energy is very Virgo coded. That is Virgo. That is Virgo's card. So you probably have very prominent Virgo energy in your chart, but you're going to want to do your homework, and you should. You should, but don't ever allow yourself to trick yourself out of something that could be very beneficial for you in the future. And it came out, people skills. You have a flair for working well with others. You could be a diplomat, counselor, salesperson, or head of a company. So while you probably think you couldn't work for yourself, or you think that you wouldn't be successful in whatever spirit is nudging you to do, This is saying that you have those skills or you have that flair for a reason. I feel like if you sit at a desk and it's just you, it's clear that that's not aligned because you have the capacity to work with other people. And working with other people can be more expansive than we think. And trust me, again, I get it because I was that student that was like group work, share a grade. No, I'll work alone, and that's cool for a while. That's cool for a while because you'll feel better. But that's not always the best way to do things. And the flow is on the bottom of the deck. You need to be in the flow. This is not a situation that you're going to be able to force because I feel like when spirit decides there's a better way to do things and you start fighting against that and you're like, I know better. I promise you, our human brains are not superior to the all seeing divine spirit, God, universe, however you want to put it. Absolutely not. Hi, beautiful. Thank you for the heart me. And thank you, Lexi, for your tap on the screen. Like you're going to have to be, I'm literally hearing an owl. Come on now. It's like, yeah, it says being aloof can leave you out in the cold. A warm follow up gets you in the door. So whether this is a job or a relationship, and you feel like you giving up because I could just do this by myself and I don't got to put up with people. I don't want to put up with people and this, that, and the third. And, and spirit is like, halt, hold on, relax. Who's to say that these are not the perfect people to work with? Who's to say that all your standards and all your expectations won't be met by these people? Sometimes we do have to set the standard and inform people of what those are, but some people just get it. Y'all ever met those people? I have. I've met a lot. My community, my collective community, they get me. I don't have to do too much explaining. And those might be the people that spirit's trying to give to you. We have ups and downs on the bottom. Allow yourself to move on if needed. Come on now. Your work has potential for both advancement and stagnation. See if there's hope. I'm just telling y'all what spirit be telling me and what the cards say. Okay. This came out in my last YouTube live. Rewards are waiting for you, baby. You're just gonna have to be okay with stepping out of that comfort zone a little bit, you know? Again, you are cashing in on all the good work you've done. Nobody said that what you've accomplished so far was not good work. Maybe it could just be better. Raises, bonuses, and prosperity are coming in. Keep going and keep growing with unfolding on the bottom of the deck. Mm. Access to greater prosperity is opening up for you slowly. You are growing as you learn more and keep expanding. See, we don't ever want to get to the point where we think we know everything or where we think we really got it. Sometimes we just need to do the thing that we don't really want to do, or the thing that we don't think is even really fully relevant to the moment, or the thing that we're putting off. Sometimes we need to just flow, just trust. Spirit is never going to nudge you for no reason. Two or three more from this deck. Renewal. Come on. It's only this message is coming out so many ways and so many, I feel like, different illustrations that you can apply to yourself. You're being renewed. Your life is being renewed, but it can't happen if you don't sign off on it. It says you need to take time to recharge, get that rest, to recharge your energy to get back on track. Challenges ahead require you to have faith and breakthrough. There's that faith. One or two. Okay. Those came right out. My goodness. Okay, so we have adventure, drama, and independence coming out all together. So again, I feel like at some point you tried a thing or you stepped out there and you were like, okay, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to go on a new adventure or I'm going to try things a different way. And you encountered drama. You encountered a bunch of bullshit. You encountered people who didn't have your back, people who had something to say. But if you look closely, to me that's always his shadow. To me that's always his fear saying you can't do this or this isn't going to work. And we all have those thoughts. We all have those voices, but as soon as you hear that, you need to counter it with a better thought. You need to counter it with a better outlook on what you're doing. Because yes, independence is cool, but even a cat likes to play sometimes. They don't play about their solitude. They want you out their face. But some of them, a lot of the times, they just want to be up under you. And maybe that's what you're afraid of, collective community. Maybe you feel like I don't want nobody to need me. I don't want attachment, or I don't want business partners, or I don't want whatever it is, however it applies interpersonally, just period, whether it's work, love, family, whatever. I get you. I do. You stepped out there, you went on a journey, and you encountered something that was not fruitful. It happens and we learn, and then we move the hell on. Adventure says you make exciting work moves that could take you outdoors or on a trip. You will need to climb steadily to reach your financial goals. Drama, beware of troublemakers in the workplace. The job you want may have too much upheaval to bear. Keep emotions and gossip in check. Again, the concern of what people say needs to go from this to this, if anything. It's like you're giving too much power to those outside opinions and that outside energy. And you may feel like doing something new comes with too much work. Okay, if I do this, then I have to move here. Or if I do this, then I gotta file this. And hey, I promise you, if you just take a step or two a day and you keep showing up and you keep having faith, that spirit will keep allowing you and supporting you and taking more steps. And you will see the divine move on your behalf. It does not have to be such an uphill battle all the time. That ups and downs card that we saw, yes, sometimes you're going to have to hit that incline for sure, but once you get into the flow of things and you trust and you allow, you know, it's going to be all right. Independence says it's time to go out on your own and create your own business. I'm really finna wrap it up because or try something well outside your comfort zone. That's what I said. That's what spirit said. You're gonna have to switch it up. You're gonna have to do something new. You're gonna have to decide to trust and have faith and allow this to unfold. Again, that signs card on the bottom. You are putting together pieces of the puzzle from signs you are getting. Pay attention to the coincidences you experience, and then tempting job offer or new place is sticking out of the deck. Not everything that's tempting is harmful or bad for you. I'm very tempted by a bowl of fruit. I'm very tempted by some yogurt, by some veggies, by a walk in the park, by some fresh air, by a nap, by some laughter, by a hug, by a kiss. Like you can be tempted by things that actually feed your spirit and don't tear it down. It doesn't always have to look like this when you try new things. It could very well just be a situation where it's just new. And so, by it being new, naturally, your human brain is going to try to find similarities between what's new and what you've already experienced because that's how we learn. We're trying to find similarities between the past and the present. We're like, oh, okay, I've seen that before. I know what that is. And your brain's like, cool, got it, moving on. But it doesn't always apply. When you meet new people, you can't always assume that they're similar to people that you've experienced. When you go new places, you definitely can't assume that those places are fully similar to places you have been before. So you got to leap. And I cut the deck to guidance. This is your guidance. Divine forces are showing you the way to go. You are discovering another piece of your destiny and your purpose in life. That's your new moon and Taurus energy. It just is giving, how do you want to live your life? What does comfort and luxury and pleasure look like to you? And what are you willing to do to align yourself with those things? And leaping is going to have to be one of them. And if it helps, you just imagine yourself leaping into a cool river of clear water on a hot ass summer day. I'm going to stay on TikTok for a little bit. I'm going to let y'all go, YouTube. I wanted to be quick. I'm genuinely always wishing everyone well in accordance with their highest good. Don't shoot the messenger. My ancestors will shoot that ass back. Um, yeah, if you're interested in a private reading, that information is in the description and on my channel. And yeah, until next time in Divine Time, peace.